So y'all know what it is. Yahweh no way. I'm back at it. We back at it in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, starting with verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thy own understanding. Lean not unto thine own understanding. I'm repeating that for a reason. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil, for it shall be health unto thy navel and marrow to thy bones. So that's something very difficult to do, especially when you're first starting out walking with God. It is very, very difficult to lean, to not lean on your own understanding, because you have to be stripped of every old mindset that you grew up with. It takes you being stripped. It definitely takes you being stripped of old mindsets, old ways of being, old habits, old thought patterns. You have to be stripped of this in order to truly fulfill this scripture of trusting in the Lord with all thine heart and leaning not into your own understanding. You want to know the will of God for your life? You want to know the next steps? You want to know what God has in store for you? You want to know where to go and how to get there? You have to not lean on your own understanding. Trust in him with all your heart and be not wise in your own way. And you have to acknowledge him in all your ways, not some, but all your ways. All your ways. Acknowledge him in everything you do, every step you take, and he will direct your path. Even when you think that you're making the wrong move, even when you think that you're doing the wrong thing, if you acknowledge God, God acknowledges the fact that you are acknowledging him, and you are putting a conscious effort into wanting to please him. See, when you have a heart to please God, and make sure you're not stumbling in your steps, make sure you're not doing nothing to upset the will of God, and make sure you are in the will of God, God is going to honor that. God is going to honor you in that, and having a fear and reverence for him, that listen, Lord, I don't want to make no wrong move. I don't want to take no wrong steps. I'm not moving, I'm not budging, I'm not doing a thing. I don't care who say what, where, when, and why. I'm not doing nothing until you say. I'm not. And God is going to honor that. Let me give you a small testimony about that. When I began to walk with God, you also have to strip all the noise. All the noise. When you really get serious with your walk, God is going to call you into a place of isolation, away from everybody. That's when you real serious. When you getting real serious, you're going to start cutting a whole lot of stuff off. People, places, and things and activities. It's all going to get cut real short. It's going to get real silent around you. Real silent. I don't care what you have to disconnect from. I don't care what you have to walk away from. I don't care who you have to walk away from. Get there. Get there. Dismiss everything that anybody has to say when it comes to God. When it comes to your relationship with God, nothing and no one should come before that. But just back to my, slight testimony, and I'm going to be giving my testimony all through this, because it's pieces and parts that I definitely had to walk this out. And I wanted to be known. I'm not just coming on here saying stuff. This is things that I had to walk this process out with God. So I'm telling you something I know. I'm not telling you something I think. I'm not telling you something I've seen somewhere and saw somebody else do. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you the results are real. But when it comes to God honoring your fear for him, honoring the fact that you don't want to make no wrong moves without him, honoring the fact that you want to please him genuinely. You don't want nothing from him but to please him. The only thing you want from God, and make sure, Get yourself in that heart posture to not just go to God when you want something, not just go to God when you need something, but go to him just because, for one, you want to know who he is as a person, that you want to know who he is. You want to know his heart. You want to know what pleases him, what he likes and what he don't like. You want to know the inner parts of God and his inner workings, how he operates, what's on his heart, what's on his mind. Go to him with this heart posture and say, Lord, you created me. I'm coming to you. I want to know your will for my life. I want to know what the next steps are from here. I'm at a standstill. I need to know what's my next steps. I need to know what I need to do, because once you do this, understand that there's going to be some steps that you're going to have to take that your carnal mind is not going to understand. Everything in you is going to want to run and go the opposite way. But you have to learn to put all your trust, everything in you in God, and trust and know. And how you do this, you learn his track record. But let me get back to what I was saying. So how God honors when you truly have a fear for him. There was a time when I'm sorry, I almost lost track of what I was saying. But when I was at a point in my life where I was, and I've given this testimony before, I've said this before, that I was staying in the hotel for a while, like maybe almost 2 years, closer to 2 years than not, probably like well into the second year before I got me a place. Well, God moved me into a place, but that was one. Being in a hotel that long went against all understanding of why God would have me there. But the relationship that we were growing, which is one of the things that I wrote down. One of my notes is that you have to build a relationship with God and build trust, and that relationship is going to build trust. You have to learn his track record. That's the Old Testament. Learning the track record of God. And as you learn the track record of God and you submit your heart to him and you submit your mind, you submit your emotions and say, listen, a lot of this stuff is way beyond the human capacity of understanding. You're going to have to help me with this. He will show you in your own life and part Red Seas in your life. And cause you to walk on dry ground and drown your enemies in real life, in your life. He'll do it again. He's the same God he was then, now, and forever will be. But not only that, but God had told me when I was, years before God moved me here to Houston, God told me years before that he was going to move me. But when he told me he was going to move me, he didn't tell me where I was going. So this is something I had to pray on, fast on, and continue to build my relationship, because it took us building a relationship over a few years before I actually made the move, right? Because it was something that was out of my level of things I would actually, something I would actually do, moving way that far, way across the country by myself. And like, I'm like, Lord, I'm in a hotel right now, like, where am I going? Out the state? Like, where am I going? I can't even get an apartment right now. Where am I going? But it took me building a relationship with God and seeing how he would move, and understand that it's not that God can't do it. I don't know who this for. It's not that God cannot do it. He's taking you through a process. There's a process that he's taking you through. God can move you at any moment. God can move you at the drop of a dime. God can take you from point A to Z in no time. This is God we talking about. It's not that God can't do it. It's that he knows that we got a relationship to build. Because I need you to lean on me I need you to trust in me with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. And I know for the things I'm going to have you to do, where I'm trying to take you, where I have called you to go, it's going to require that you lean on me and not on your own understanding. And for you, I know it's going to be a trust process. I have to teach you how to trust me. I know as your father, I'm going to have to build a trust relationship with you. This is a trust thing. You have to get to know me. I know you inside and out, but you have to get to know me and understand my character and understand who I am and understand that when I speak, I mean what I say. When words come forth, it shall not return unto me void. You need to know this. You need to know this. So in order for you to know this, I got to take you through this process. I got to have you here in this hotel for a while so you can understand I'm going to take care of you. See, anytime you ever tried to make a move before in your life, everything fell through. But I need you to know now that you have held on to me, you took a hold of me, and you given me a chance to show you who I am. Let me show you who I am. I got to keep you here and show you that I'm going to sustain you. I'm going to sustain you. And he isolated me so that there was nobody to help me. So no man can take credit. No man could take credit. God, see, when God do things, he do things to get the glory. So the harder he make it, trust me, the more glory he's going to get out of it. God knows what he is doing. Baby, you got to learn to lean on him. Put all your trust in him and lean not onto your own understanding. And when you get serious about this, don't worry about who he disconnect you from. Don't worry, people gonna fall off. People not gonna understand, and you don't need them to, first and foremost. Secondly, you need the noise. You need the noise to cut out. God's voice is the only voice you need to be hearing when that walk gets serious. And you really serious about living the will of God for your life, all that noise got to stop. All that noise got to stop so that you can hear the voice of God and learn him and let him take you through the trust process. Let him take you through the process.